We keep things rolling here on the Sports Cubicle. I'm your host, Mike Mercado. I'm here with the one, the only Paul Chivari. And Paul, unfortunately, recently in the news, there have been a lot of controversies that have really put a black eye in society, in the nation, and quite frankly, the world. And there's been a lot of moments where we have been all sitting in front of our phones, televisions, computer screens, waiting for announcements to be dropped and seeing the division that has hit our social media and our streets. And none more than the story that has finally dropped here. And quite frankly, I don't know how we're going to handle this, Paul, because this comes to us from AP News. Joey Chestnut has been banned from the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. At least that's what the early report is. Paul, we have to do.
Well, that's what Joey said. He went and tweeted everything and spilled the beans about his plans for the 4th of July not being as traditional as we know it to be for the last 15 to 17 years.
This deep state conversation just keeps getting worse, Paul. Okay, you know what? We're going to do our own. We're going to do our own research on this. Okay, this comes to us from AP because after that, now hot dog eating champs Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi will go head to head in a Netflix special. Paul, there's so much to this story. I don't know. I mean, JFK is one thing, but this might be in textbooks over the next 10 years. This comes to us from Caitlin Humani at AP from Los Angeles after organizers for Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest said Joey Chestnut would not compete this year because of a deal with a rival brand. We'll get to that in a second. Netflix swiftly announced a new hot dog eating competition that will feature Chestnut and his quote-unquote fiercest rival. Chestnut, a 16-time hot dog eating champion, will face off with his frequent Nathan's competitor, Kobayashi, in a live Netflix special on September 2nd, the streamer said on Wednesday. The contest title, Chestnut versus Kobayashi Unfinished Beef, will feature the two chowing down on an all-beef hot dogs eating contest, likely in a nod to reports that Chestnut's rival brand deal with Impossible Foods, which makes plant-based hot dogs. Major League Eating, the organization that oversees the Nathan's contest, announced Tuesday that Chestnut's deal was an exclusivity issue, saying that it was his decision to step back from the competition he has participated in since 2005. Quote, "We love him. The fans love him," said George Shea, a Major League Eating event organizer, adding, quote, "He made the choice." Chestnut disputed that he made the choice, saying on the social media platform X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, that Nathan's and Major League Eating made the decision, adding that it would, quote, "deprive fans of the holiday usual joy and entertainment." He also wrote that fans could rest assured they would see him eat again soon, adding, quote, "Stay hungry." Impossible Food has not confirmed a formal relationship with Chestnut. Following Netflix's announcement, Shea said the streamer was, quote, "trying to recreate Nathan's contest to some extent, and you just can't do that." And he also added imitation is the best form of flattery. And of course, in a situation like this, we really need our leaders to be in the forefront. New York City Mayor Eric Adams joined the conversation on Wednesday, urging Nathan and Major League Eating to, quote, "stop being such weenies." Quote, "It would be impossible to have this year's Nathan's famous international hot dog eating contest without Joey Chestnut." He also wrote, "Let's find a way to squash this beef and bring back the champ for another 4th of July at Coney Island." Check out the entire article over at AP. Hot dog eating champs Joey Chestnut and Takuro Kobayashi will go head to head in a Netflix special. So all in all, in just a crazy story. Go ahead. I know you and I love this type of goofiness. I have an opinion about food eating contests in general in 2024, but let's talk about this right now. Go ahead, Paulie.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm sure you and I probably have the same sort of thought process on, eating contests. Okay. And just like how bad of a look that is, in a world that's still hungry. But like, for one, you reading that AP article sounded like an Onion article, especially with like all the puns, the fact that like political leaders are getting involved, like a controversy that's not really a controversy. It's all great. But it's like when you think of 4th of July, for some reason, the stupid hot dog eating contest comes up all the time. It's like you forget about it. Then 11 a.m. Central, bam, you see ESPN, all the news outlets just breaking to like people gorging themselves on like pounds and pounds of processed beef, just holding it in their mouths, trying to just cram as many they can in 10 minutes. Now, as disgusting as that is to me, Joey Chestnut is quite accomplished in this field. Don't take anything away. I love the sake of competition, regardless of how dirty it is, be it, greyhound racing, horse racing, major league eating, whatever you want to have. That's kind of like, cockfighting, that sort of thing. But when you see the greatest of all time do what they do best, and in this case, it's not illegal, hey, more power to them. But I think we should note that I don't think the controversy is in the fact that he's doing the Netflix special. I think that's coincidental. This feels a little calculated to me because he's the one the day before saying like, oh man, I'm bummed that I'm banned from this competition. And then the Nathans, people being like, no, man, it's not that you're banned from the competition. You chose to do a rival hot dog sponsorship. You cannot be representing them when it comes to, these sort of things. So yeah, so there's that. So he chose to be with the impossible plant-based hot dog eating, which took him out of the running for this. But then it's like, well, it's not like the guy's given up eating hot dogs the rest of his life because now he's going to battle Kobayashi, who apparently retired earlier this year.
Netflix got all that live streaming money, boy. They are giving them all that money.
Now, here's the thing. I find these things disgusting, but I am morbidly curious to see who's going to win this competition. It's kind of like the Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson, even though that got canceled. I like boxing. I don't really care. Oh, wait. Say that again.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. I'm sorry. Yeah, whatever.
Who doesn't matter? Who doesn't matter? But just so we don't hear it, it was Jake Paul. Okay.
Jake Paul. Okay. Yeah. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Like, I'm curious to see who would win that battle. I like boxing. I don't think it really ultimately matters, but I am curious. That's the same with this Kobayashi versus Joey Chestnut battle here. Curious to see who's going to step up and try and break records on the 4th of July. They're saying that, what was it, Stoney or whoever that, Stoney retired. Stoney's the only one that broke Chestnut's streak. So I think it's like Esper is the guy's name that's like number 2 in the world. So a lot of people are kind of waiting to see if that guy's going to step in and take the place of this. So Jeffrey Esper, number 2 in the world, 49 hot dogs in 10 minutes last year. So, I mean, we'll see if he's able to break that record. But Joey Jaws is the all-time record holder. He has a chance to go against Kobayashi, who he basically took the title from about 20 years ago. So that's exciting. But at the same time, like I had a choice. Should I cover this? Is this Sports Cubicle worthy? No. And I feel it is. I feel that this is Sports Cubicle worthy subject here, but I want your thoughts on it, Mike. I mean, it's so ridiculous, but at the same time, it's like, it seems like this is a calculated move by Joey Chestnut to kind of further himself from Major League eating. You know what I'm saying? Like, when a person in a way like feels that they're so separated from the competition that they make their own rules. Like, this is like live golf. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, it's like where it's like, there's more money, there's greener pastures. So we're going to get away from what got me into this to begin with. I would love to see a Saudi endorsed hot dog eating contest. Okay. That's what I would love to see. What happened to this show? What's happened? What's this country? What's here? What are we doing here? Okay. Look it. I'm with you though. Like, there's nothing that represents or characterizes this country more than a hot dog eating contest. And then there's nothing more than watching it become international, all about TV deals and of course sponsorships. So this is as Americana as it gets. God bless the USA. Happy 4th of July, everybody. We are going to have a wonderful time. We're going to watch what is gluttony and selfishness, and the world is starving and on fire, and we have hurricanes and tornadoes in the middle of the country. And leading in AP News, the mayor of New York had a pun, not a bun, but a pun. Yep.
I don't like this. I don't like what's going on here. I don't appreciate none of this.
This is all ridiculous to me, but I felt it needed to be covered. But at the same time, I'd like to Joey Chestnut competing at Coney Island. I think that's a great American tradition that seems needlessly broken this year.
But let me ask you this. Okay, all seriousness, right? All seriousness, and please watch the YouTube version of this if you want the full unedited version of all this. But let me ask you, like, I think there is a PR way of spinning this really fast. It's just donations to food pantries, to food deserts in New York and New York States, do stuff like that. It's okay. Look, we do have enough hot dogs. Look, I don't think we're ever going to run out of hot dogs because it's not like they're made out of real like pork. So let's just go ahead and let them do that, but let's donate money. Let's have a good look, okay? If we're going to stuff our faces and look like the robot from Futurama, the Emperor, then we need to do a better job of making sure everybody gets some food. So how about that? Keep doing the hot dog eating contest, have fun, all the wings and pie eating, whatever. Donate some money or some food to some food pantries in your local areas and to some third world countries, some poorer countries, some war-torn countries, and let's try to balance it out. How about that, Paul?
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think if Joey Chestnut is not donating or not competing in the Coney Island contest, it'd be an opportunity to do a live stream of him trying to break that record in Impossible hot dogs, and then you could do your charitable thing with that. You know what I'm saying? Impossible can try and donate to the food pantries and solve world hunger, but I think if Joey Chestnut is not going to be there at Coney Island, if Major League Eating will not put him there, let's see him mow down some plant-based hot dogs.
And if enough likes and downloads of this episode of the Sports Cubicle, Paul will live stream on Twitch him competing with the Nathans, eating hot dogs people, and trying to see if you can keep up with this. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Like and share the videos and download the episode. Paul, thank you so much. What?
Hot dogs a year. Not good for 57 in 10 minutes.
Enough likes, and he will do it. Make sure you guys are subscribing to us here on the Sports Cubicle. A fun way to end the show on a very serious episode of the Sports Cubicle. But we can't talk about the holiday season without talking about Joey Chestnut. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think about this story? We're on Twitter at Sports Cubicle TV. Of course, subscribe to us on YouTube at the Sports Cubicle. Check us out over at the mothership at Heartland Signal, WCPT 820, the Sports Cubicle. I'm your host, Mike Mercado. He's the future hot dog winning contest champion, Paul Chivari. You're here on the Sports Cubicle.